Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on Wrecker's Yard. You are watching DBDLeague Eternal. Sorry, not Eternal. Divine Dead versus Karma and givex here on the Spirit. And already we have a survivor, Goodcon, trying to run around this LT wall. Let's see if the pallet is on this side. It is not, but does have a window. Should still maybe be a hit if the face through comes out here, Dyer. We are already going into Shack and the pallet has already been dropped.
Sacrificing Shack pallets so early means we have a lot of safety going on here. Being a little bit stuck, I believe pallets landing not going to come out in time here. Trick now using the sacrificed Shack pallet, and that's going to be it for our beloved resource. 60 seconds into the trial, first injury being spread across the team of Divine Dead as well. givex just looking for more, going on to the new version of the fun bus, trying to do some mind gaming and just barely missing Trick here, winning the mind game, but the 4.4 meter per second movement then not being enough to catch him. But looking at this road around here means that this next resource has to leave the trial. Mind game coming out once again. givex just taking an extra round, wins the mind game, not this time. That was a very beautiful drop from the wrong side for Trick here, and this chase, Nico, I feel like it's going a little bit too long now.
It's going way too long, but it is over now. Trick does go down finally at the third time of the 50-50 pallets that he's done. Super beautiful play by Trick, honestly, just lasting as long as possible. And I feel like a second generator is about to pop, probably, because one has already popped. And, okay, around 70% on that one, so a little bit of a problem here on the side of givex. He definitely did not want this start. You want an explosive start out of Spirit. You want to create as much pressure as possible, as early as possible. But just not quite finding it. Luckily, the Corrupt actually did a little bit of damage. Did stop them from getting, you know, a good setup from the beginning. But with the sloppy applied as well, it didn't really do much. No healing was coming through with the second generator popping, and but pop also up and not really being used. There's not really much for givex to get here. I mean, kind of just camping it out right now, but it looks like this save is actually just coming right here on the Ada.
Yeah, this is going to be the second injury, and now we do need a little bit of pressure on the side of givex. You need this down very soon. Won't get it here, so another phase coming out. Oh, that was a very last second one onto Trick here. Don't think he will agree from what he saw on his POE, but Kursep not healed yet means that the survivors are sticking to the generators, cranking the progress into these objectives. We might see a third generator coming out, and this on Wrecker's Yard, 2 hook stages against 2 generators, potentially 3 very soon, is the best trade that could probably happen here for Divine Dead. Very strong start on the survivor side. We do see a lot of progress over here. Good thing that Pop Goes to Weasel is coming into play for Karma here, but givex, I feel like, doesn't really have the time to go for the full camp here into the elimination. You need to get something done on the Wrecker's Yard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can try to camp this out and see if you can get anything out of it, but I really feel like you need to get something else going. Yes, Trick is going to be on death hook when he gets pulled off, and probably not going to be unhooked right now when you're going back anyway. They do hear the little slight hissing sound, so they're probably just going to be patient and get the heal in. Yep, like that, onto Kursep. So that's another problem that you're going to have to deal with now. Question is, are they going to be able to even unhook, or are they just going to be satisfied and say, okay, fine, we'll just try to get the 3-man out instead? And it looks like that is actually the plan.
That's going to be a good trade, though, because I do feel like, with seeing how efficient Divine Dead is, and the Crow leaving over there, generator number 4, yeah, won't be too far away. 70% in this generator over here, and I do feel like they have a good setup as well, a good spread here. 2 on this side, the other one completely on the outside of the Wrecker's Yard, so no 3-gen potential here for givex to play around. 2-2 split up across this relatively small map, but a good injury now, not allowing the survivor to catch the pallet in time. Good Khan, and if this would be a 2-tap, that would be exactly what Karma needs, but the mind game is needed, and it's going to, actually over-peaking on this one over here. Good Khan with a good pallet drop and a good mind game over there, but then unfortunately going down. givex now in a way better spot, especially if he's going for the basement, but we can slowly start telling that the killer doesn't have the time here. He has to hook on the outside.
Yeah. unfortunately not able to do the basement hook, and therefore it's going to be a little bit of more of an issue for him on the other side. Kurzep, I do think, is completely fine with being chaser. Yeah, super patient play here coming in. If he goes for the unhook once again, that's got to mean some deliverance shenanigans is going on here, and he is just completely fine by doing this. But question is, who do you go for? Do you go after Kurzep? Do you go after Goodcon? You kind of want the fresh hook, I feel like, Dyer.
Absolutely, yeah, with this extra point coming out and the time starting to run down your hands, you want to get this extra point on these survivors. Kurzep down though, very quickly here. Got Khan now. This time they might need to go for the reset to make sure that their strategy of sticking to the generators and playing efficient but risky might be difficult, especially when the next survivor is being found here. The only healthy survivor, Manox, was kind of zoned here, so next hit going to come out. Nico, they start struggling now.
They do start struggling, and you can see the Sloppy Butcher doing damage now. The healings are going to take forever for these survivors, but we do see Kurzep getting rezzed up once again. Goodcon and Kurzep probably going to be somewhere in a corner trying to heal up. Meanwhile, Minox pointing at the corner, he says, I know I'm going to go down, but I'm going to make you work for it as much as possible. And this is much more the thing that we were looking for with the Spirit. This is what we were expecting from the get-go to come out with these really fast downs coming in, but just wasn't the case in the beginning. So down to 2 gens, and another one could pop on the other side. Yep, exactly as predicted, is going to pop. But now it's going to be a problem for them. Can they even get out of this trial? Because 2 people injured, 1 guy on hook. It's going to be a big issue for them, I feel like.
Absolutely, and this strategy of efficiency into the generators and staying injured can be a really difficult one for the killer. But if he's able to manage to apply the pressure, then we see what's happening right here. Manox now unhooked, but both survivors injured, and Kurzep currently down. That's going to be hook stage number 6 in exchange for 4 generators. Still somewhat of a good arrangement for Divine Dad here, but they are getting weaker and weaker, and I do think this time, as we mentioned it, they have to go for the resets here. Hook is going to come through. Hook stage number 6 also means that we do have another pop goes to Weasel Kick on the generator in the distance, making sure that more progress is going to be taken. And NicowithaC already looking out for the 2 survivors that are healing at the moment, and if he does spot the location where they're performing the reset, then this could be potentially ending quite soon.
Oh, it definitely could. And once again, I feel like because he has all the time in the world to sit on that hook if he wants to. They do get the reset off, though. That's very huge for them. That means they can go for the unhook pretty safely, even though it might mean a hook trade at some point. But they need to somehow create the pressure on the gens instead. They have a beautiful gen spread, as you can say, or as you can see. No 3-gen in the vicinity at all. It's actually the biggest spread I've ever seen in my life, I think. It's literally in northeast and west. So there's nothing at all that NicowithaC can do but just sit here and wait for Kurzep to get unhooked, or maybe go to second stage. If they go to second stage, not going to happen. The deliverance play, as we talked about earlier, was going to come through. It is going to be the tunnel out, though. Instead, I feel like you have to just go for Kurzep here and pray that they don't pump out these generators fast enough.
Yeah, this is one of these typical 3-gens when I'm playing one killer game in public matches in every 2 months, then I get exactly this 3-gen here. Feel a little bit bad for NicowithaC, but he also didn't really got the chance to apply any setup for himself because he lost too much time in the early game. Even better for Karma that he's now going to pick up the pressure here. Next pop goes to Weasel Kick, available after hook stage number 7 on to Kurzep. We had a survivor over here just a little bit ago. NicowithaC checking on the generator first, doesn't apply instantly. The pop goes to Weasel Kick, wants to see if someone is running in his back towards the hook, and he's quite confident that there's a survivor over here in this tile potentially. I haven't seen anyone, but it seems like that NicowithaC has a more game sense than me, and there we are. That's going to be the injury onto Godkan, actually a God read onto the survivor right here. I'm really impressed on NicowithaC's understanding of what's going on around him, and that should be a quick down right here. The grass is moving there. Edge map Anderson going to waste a little bit of time, but going down already, and that's hook stage number 8. And at this point, I feel like our survivors are struggling even to get the final generator done.
Yeah, they really are, and it's because of this sloppy butcher coming through. It's because of the healing taking so long. You can't get the reset off, so you can't go and do the gen comfortably. If you do that, it might just end in a slugfest instead, which means they are going to just get the 4K without you getting that last gen done. And that last gen is super important because they need to make sure that they do as many gens as possible for the score sheet, so that the other side, their killer, can have an easier time coming into the next game. But as of right now, it's looking super dire for the side of the survivors. I mean, I'm not sure they have a play in their hand at this point with all of these hook states coming in dire.
Absolutely, yeah. The killer is too fast for them to make a plan B, and it would be so needed, because if that's going to be the status of the game, then the other team, Karma, would just need to repair all 5 generators, and that's usually a very uncomfortable win condition. You want to get the final generator done to force them out, to allow your killer to bring something like No One Escapes Death or a No Way Out and go for an endgame slug. Then you can tie and then you can replay. But not getting the final generator done is a very unpleasant condition. And we talked about the confidence that is needed today, and having the first trial like this where not all generators are going to be completed also feels very difficult. So we are hoping for Divine Dead that they are going to be able to do it, but with Manox and Killstep remaining in the trial with only 2 survivors, it's definitely going to be a challenge. And esports already proving his game sense again, finding the next survivor over here.
Yeah, he just knows where everyone are at all times. Apparently, Manox here is going to be in a heap of trouble. Remember, no pallet here. Yes, the God window is there, but you are going to take a hit for it. So what does that even matter? Can Kurzeb actually get the last generator done? I very much doubt it. I mean, with every pop that has gone down on it, with every eruption 10% off that has gone down on it as well, it just seems like an impossible task for them. I mean, what is actually the play here, Dire? I don't feel like they have one.
I don't feel like there is one either, and I also struggle to create one or to think about one that is probably going to work here, because they are in a difficult spot. I mean, the next chase they are taking, first of all, needs to be very long. And then on top of all that, you do need the survivor right at the generator. You need a wrong calculation from esports, even, because he knows that these generators are low in progress. And there he is once again. Manox being caught out. So Kurzeb now potentially just hiding as well, trying to go for an exit gate here. Eruption kicking in on 2 generators. So that was at least good communication right there. But Kurzeb now potentially caught out by the impressive game sense of esports.
Yeah, possibly. It has been on point today. You gotta admit that. I mean, yeah, Trick gave him trouble in the beginning of the game, but since then, since that first hook that he got onto Trick, he's been on point. esports, there's just no denying it at all. And there's a lot of places for Kurzeb to hide here, but how long can you actually hide against the Spirit? At some point, he's just going to find you. I feel like I don't feel like Kurzeb really has a play here. That does have a nice hiding spot, at least.
Very rough. Yeah, a nice hiding spot, at least. That's something you can look for, but esports knows all these hiding spots, and his game sense might just be too strong. He's going to check every single corner here. He doesn't need to worry about Manox too early. He still has 3 minutes, but, well, he just wants to finish it. Feels confident with the exit gates on Wrecker's Yard anyway. Quite pleasant to have it. Hatch is set on the shack as well. It's the only location here on this map, so you can just go for it. Manox has 60 seconds of hang time, so Kurzeb now all or nothing for him.
Yeah, it really is, and obviously it's gonna be super rough for Kurzeb here. I mean, against the Spirit who can face from one gate to the other in a matter of seconds, how are you ever going to be able to open a gate? Honestly, it's quite the monumental task, and I feel like this is just a 4K 1-gen waiting to happen, honestly. And with these amount of hooks as well that esports has gotten, you just got to take the hat off for him. Amazing job here. Let's see if Kurzeb can't actually manage to pull a rabbit out of the hat, though, because you should never say never, obviously, in this game.
And esports even waiting. I imagine that would the survivor sneak into your back and then escape from hatch. I think you can have your teammates shout on you for what you're doing. GivX actually risking a lot here, just checking it.
Yeah.
But is it going to be close? Because I'm already walking towards the door here. We will see the great 10% strategy potentially when no light is going on. No, he's just going for it. Says all or nothing here. That's an interesting take, but it might work.
Oh, I feel like I see Spirit there in the background maybe, but I'm not sure. Is it actually just going to work? I feel like it never should. No, it should be over right here. Yeah, unfortunately, not enough time here for NicowithaC. Yeah, it's super unfortunate. There was like, I think 2 or 3% left, honestly, Dire. But there's just nothing you can do against the Spirit in this situation. It is just impossible, monumental task here for NicowithaC. Yeah, maybe if you left him alone on the ground for, I don't know, 30 seconds, then he could get the Unbreakable done. But GG's honestly on the side of GivX, not giving up after having such a fatal first chase of the game, but afterwards just being on point every single time. Every single time someone got unhooked, he was right there to tunnel the person out once again, and every single chase afterwards was just beautifully executed, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the fact that we were a little bit worried in the early game and the first chase took too long, and we were saying, oh wow, 2 generators already gone, this chase took too long. How is he supposed to recover from that? Well, GivX gave us the answer. That's exactly how you do it. You're keeping a cool head, you enforce your strategy on the survivors, and then with a few very beautiful phases, he just clutched it back. Win condition is all generators for the team. Karma on the survivor side coming out after a short break. Alright everyone, welcome in to the next trial here, and we just discussed it in the background and said, well, Karma, just get all the gens done, and that's literally the win condition right here. But against this Spirit on the Wrecker's Yard, especially an experienced killer like Undead, this can be more difficult than it sounds, especially when Feathernet is going to be found that early into the trial, just 30 seconds here, and the Shack Pallet, same as in trial number 1, is going to be sacrificed early on, but Undead is just going to walk around, and we heard him behind us, and it's a free. Beautiful down, even if there was a firecracker. Very strong start for Divine Dead here.
Oh, absolutely beautiful, and the pallet save is not even gonna come through. Zolf just barely not able to get it. I was on the opposite side, but beautiful play here from Undead, honestly. And this is exactly what we were talking about. This is what we were expecting to come out of the Spirit in the early game. Can they get more, though, here, Undead? Already looking here for the next victim, and I think it's GivX coming around the corner here. No, it's actually Kilade, but can they do anything? Oh, little medium vault coming in, but not going to be enough to get away from the Spirit as of right now. And yeah, Feathernet has been unhooked, but how long can he stay safe for, Dire?
That's the good question here, and there he's running together with the killer, and Undead is like, do we go Shack? No, the answer is we're going all the way back here towards this one, and that's going to be a very quick down once again. Is there going to be anyone coming in for a potential rescue? That's not going to be the case, so generator number 1 still missing, hook stage number 2 coming in, 2 survivors injured on top, Nico. I feel like this is a very devastating start.
Yeah, it's a very different game as well than what we saw in the beginning. I mean, no generator has popped yet, and we got the hook inside of basement as well. On top of that, this is looking extremely dire for the survivors in this trial. I mean, we said just do 5 generators for head. It's not going to happen at this rate. That's for damn sure. I mean, Undead is putting on a clinic right now.
Yeah, this is too insane. They need the rescue on the Feathernet. They need a good rescue and a good reset also. The next survivor that's going to be in chase, which is probably going to be Feathernet with the tunnel out, needs to be protected, or they need to set up something like a pallet save. And during all this list, you have to do generators as well. Survivor, our leader, is still not healthy, so they are cranking the generators. We've seen in the previous trial how this can end against the Spirit, and with how confident Undead was, as much as I understand that you want to sit at the generators right now, bringing out your efficiency, it might not be a mistake to take it a little bit more safe. And yeah, I definitely agree on the heal we see right there, but they actually sacrificed their mate here in exchange for just one generator.
They do, and we did see a little bit of scratch marks, I think, here with the blast mine coming through as well, buying a little bit more time. The Pop Goes the Weasel is off cooldown at the moment. The eruption has been applied, however, so the next down that comes through, that's going to be 10% off of that generator. But the question is, if it's not going to pop before that, actually, if Undead can find anyone at the moment, everyone's being pretty immersed here. And staying safe, which is really, really good job on the side of survivors, honestly. GivX South and Kilade are doing the best that they can right now. And again, it's such a monumental task for them. It's just like last game. It's super, super difficult to do anything at this rate. I mean, 4 generators left, already 1 teammate down in the dirt. What are you going to do from here? How are you going to pull this one back?
Yeah, all these questions currently circling in the head of our survivors here, and probably Fedinit now coming in, trying to bring a little bit of strategies or suggestions from the outside, but so far it doesn't look like they found the grasp yet. They are healthy all along. That's the good news here. So you have a little bit of chase time on the next survivor. But talking about chase time, there were the scratch marks right here. Undead spotted the next survivor, but he will be stunned. Very important for Team Karma now to not take the injury, to force the killer into cooldown, win a little bit of time here for the generators, for the team. Grenade running, dropping the next pallet, needs to win this mind game, but runs into the killer. So next injury coming out, and Undead, you can instantly see it looks so confident right on the tail of Katie, and that's going to be the edge map strategy as well. So just wasting a little bit of time, but significantly not enough to bring any pressure back for the team here. Eruption doing a little bit of work there on 2 generators as well, and GivX and Salz need to also set up for the potential hook rescue, leaving 1 survivor on the generators to repair them.
Yeah, and you just have to expect them to be on the other side of the map right now. If Kilate decided to go down all the way in the corner, way over on the other side of the map, and with the fireworks coming up, I'm pretty sure it was called out that the eruption was going to be applied, and therefore they did know that the auras shouldn't be red. But it doesn't matter, because the sprint burst coming out of GivX here says that, okay, well, already someone has been found, and Pop Goes the Weasel actually is applied instead of just giving chase onto GivX. So really, really trying to make sure that they don't go down to the 1 generator play that it was last game. But GivX, I don't know if he has a play here. Honestly, this is just going to be a 50-50 whether or not he wants to try to take a hit or if he wants to try to go for the grab instead. And as of right now, Undead is completely fine in this scenario. I mean, 3 gens left, and GivX standing around here not being able to do anything at all, with Zalf proccing the generator on the other side and a hit as well with the Sloppy Butcher applied. This is brutal coming out of Undead here.
It's absolutely, yeah, Divine Dead absolutely smashing it. We were talking about how difficult the game was for them, and Karma really had it on their hands here. You mentioned it in the campfire chat. If they pick the spirit, they need a good idea and a good concept, and it seems like they came in with all that. The win condition was beautiful, but what Divine Dead is putting up here as a recovery play is just beyond everything.
Oh, it really, really is. And this generator should still be down, but damn! He just knows that someone is camping that pallet, instantly takes down GivX. Now, just looking for Zolf. If he can find the Ada, then this game is GG right off the bat with 3 gens left still, Dyer.
Very, very insane by Undead here. 1 survivor slugged, 1 is going to die, and we have Zalf left right there. So going to be interesting, right? Because basically, well, there is now going to be the spotted survivor with the pickup, but you have the information now where both survivors are, so they are in a difficult spot here. Potentially very soon we have the last standing survivor again, but now we are talking about 2 generators that need to be repaired with 2 survivors, only to tie and replay it on the Wrecker's Yard. So the win at this point is so far away that you need to make sure that you are not going to lose your motivation or your fight in this one. But they do need 2 more generators, and they are only 2 survivors right here. 1 of them is injured on top of that. Undead doesn't catch any of them, at least not intentionally, because he was waiting for the injured survivor that is all the way down here on the fun bus, going immediately after them, trying to play around the pallet. Mind game's going to come out, going a little bit left and right here, but Nia decides to just hold W, but that's not going to be enough. That's leaving the final standing survivor who has to repair 2 full generators here. So I don't want to call it too early, but it looks like Divine Dead going to take set 1 unexpected here.
I mean, unless Zolth randomly has a brand new partner, Commodious Toolbox, with approved thyself from a ghost from the past or something like that, I don't believe they're gonna be able to get these 2 gens done. Unfortunately, GiveX is gonna be put down over here next to this gen, and it's basically just forcing Zolth to hide on the other side of the map, which means once again, Undead can go and try to find the Ada, try to find Zolth, and yeah, I don't even believe Zolth is going to try to even do a gen. I mean, they have to. They have to try to pull something out of thin air right now because they need these last 2 generators done. And GiveX can be rezzed once again, but oh boy, it looks very, very, very dangerously dire at the moment.
It really does. Yeah, GiveX now slugged as well, and our final standing survivor needs to find a very, very good strategy here for themselves. The good news is they would be fresh hook, so that would be 10-point swing if they somehow manage to escape. So that would be enough, and potentially that's going to be the strategy they are playing for here. GiveX just chilling on the ground, being now picked up, same as in the previous trial. The killer doesn't have a reason to be too concerned, just going to pick up the survivor, knows where the hatch is, so just going to execute this survivor and then moving forward. But on the shoulders of our Ada lays the entire hope, if you're a fan of Karma here, and you mentioned it, it's not going to be the best condition, but we have seen how tight it was in the previous end game, just 1 second on the exit game, basically. So the hope is still there.
The hope is definitely still there, and once again, Zolth needs to try to escape somehow in some miraculous fashion. These gates are pretty far away from each other, however, but I just don't see it being possible against the Spirit. The phase through that the haunting phase that comes through is just so insanely fast, and yeah, you might not have line of sight constantly, but you can just get back and forth so fast, and I don't believe Zolth is going to be able to do anything. Hopefully they have something, a trick up their sleeve, maybe like we were talking about earlier, the previous trial, do the 10% and the deliverance coming through here from GiveX, trying to buy a little bit more time for his team. Trying to get that third generator done here for them, and if they can manage to do that, GiveX can actually maybe pump a generator on the other side of the map. But Zolth has been found dire.
Zolth has been found. GiveX now with the broken status effect, not to worry about. In best case, he's still going to be injured when you are down this survivor, and then you can find him even easier. Good mind game here around this pallet, staying alive a little bit longer, but I feel like a chase like this was needed a few minutes ago when we just started this trial, when the survivors were spreading out across the generators. That was the moment where we needed a chase like this, where you're confidently winning these 50-50s, where you are staying dominant in these mind games, and unfortunately they are doing a good job now, but it is a little bit too late. And that just going to circle once again, expects the survivors to be on the generators still. At this point, probably not the strategy anymore. You just try to go for an escape here, but that's going to be my call and not the one that Karma agreed on. That's going to be GiveX now being called out injured, so easy to track here, and try to vault over the pallet, doing something cheeky, but Undead not even allowing that.
Yeah, not allowing it. Says that I'm going to get the 4K3 here on Records Yard, on the Spirit, and you just got to take the hat off. I mean, beautiful, beautiful execution from the beginning. Like we were saying in the last trial, the Spirit has to come out explosive, and that's exactly what Undead did, and you can see this is what is giving his team the win. I mean, first set is going to go over to there, and that just means that the Blight is going to be even more powerful here in the second trial that we're going into.
And you're kind of taking this pressure over, right? Because the survivor team of Karma basically didn't manage to get the grasp onto the trial in the early game, and Divine Dead knows that now. They know if we play confident as the killer, if we are coming in applying pressure, Karma cannot keep up with us at the moment. And especially the Blight, who's a very oppressive and dominant killer in the early game, where you need to find a good start into the game, a good first chase, a good chance to place your survivors across the objectives. This is something you can really build your benefit of. If you force Karma's survivors once again in a very difficult early game, they might be in a little bit of trouble again. And I don't know if Undead is going to be the Blight player for Divine Dead. I'm not too familiar with the roster, unfortunately. But anyway, whatever player is coming out to play the Blight here, he will feel this confidence that the Survivor team just gave into his play by pulling this really, really amazing 180 turn.
Oh, definitely, and you just gotta take the hat off for the entire team. I mean, they have definitely prepared beautifully for this game. No adrenaline coming out of Zolt, of course, and the question is, does he have a hook for him at all? I feel like he was kind of looking around and saying that I don't think he has a hook, so now he might need to wiggle out and then afterwards hook him, but it shouldn't really matter. In the end, Zolt has no way out of this trial at all, and it is just a Blight that's coming up after this game, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us, because that has to be so nerve-wracking for both sides. On one side, you can just cleanly take it out 2-0 right off the bat, get your Friday night started immediately, but on the other side, you have to take the next set, and if you don't do that, it is so painful, and it's gonna be almost impossible for you to make playoffs after that. So this set is just so important, Dyer.
Absolutely, and Divine Dad maybe now also coming in with the mindset, also struggling with reaching the playoffs, but now saying, okay, this was our match today. We took it even back against Karma, against the odds, with the back at the wall. So let's just keep it up now, smash the Blight set as well, fight our way into the playoffs here. We have 3 weekends left, ladies and gentlemen, but slowly we can start a first idea of who's going to move into the playoffs here, and so can the teams. So Divine Dead not giving up the hope at all, playing to their absolute maximum, the performance peak here, and Karma, yes, struggling and under pressure, and they are the ones coming out as survivors in the upcoming trial here. So that's going to be the challenge for them. Let's see how this is going to be played out. The first set ends with a beautiful 36-32 in favor of Divine Dead, so 1-0 towards them. Karma stays on the survivor side for the Blight coming up, and we will see you after a short break. Welcome back, everyone. With the words of Hens 333, we could say, who let Fingerguns out of retirement home? A very known player, former on Team Agony in the past, and there's a first whiff coming out onto Fedonit, who's a little bit too glitchy right here. Housekeeping of DBDLeague has come to the decision after an investigation. Fingerguns could provide everything that was needed, evidence in form of a recording of the entire screen capture, and there we saw that it was the fault of the game. So therefore, no blame towards Divine Dead, and we are going to restart this game with no point penalty and also no restrictions on the loadout. So all players were allowed to bring in a different settings and different loadouts compared to trial number 1. Let's see how it's going to be played out. Looks way better on the side of Fingerguns, who also restarted his PC just in case, so we can make sure that everything is going fine. And I think for Fingerguns, this is going to turn out really, really good.
Yeah, up until now, it's looking pretty good at the very least. Fedonit, always the first person to get found, it seems. Once again, just going down instantly. givex here, dropping the pallet, making sure that the tunnel out cannot come through instantly at the very least. Has to look a little bit for Fedonit, and I think they might have found their target. Yep, Fingerguns has to maybe do a little bit of bump logic here. It is going to be the case with the window vault coming through. Bus. Oh, the Dead Hard is not going to be enough, because it's actually just bump logic instead into the bus, making sure that he knows that he saw him do it, and maybe a little bit of a flashlight paranoia coming out here, but Fedonit with the DS this time around is going to get it down. No Dead Hard for this down here though, and yeah, Blight is just a monster when it comes to tunneling out people in the early game. Still 5 generators up right now, Dyer, and it's not looking too good for the side of Karma.
I feel really bad for Fedonit. You mentioned it, most oppressive killer when it comes to tunnel out. Nurse and Blight here, and Fingerguns having absolutely no mercy on 5 gens. That's going to be a minus rep later on the scene profile, but I don't think you would care if that's what you need to win. But a very wonderful juke here, and a greeting as well from the side of Karma. Take that, Fingerguns. That's your karma for tunneling out our teammate. Now going back immediately, Fedonit just being rescued in the distance, and we can already see Fingerguns not wasting a single second on trying to find that survivor, but they left the area and didn't even leave scratch marks. And if they would be able to hide Fedonit here, that would be the 180 turn of the game.
That will be big problemas here for the side of Finger Guns and the side of Divine Dead. They really need to find Fenanid as fast as possible. No D-Strike, and I feel like maybe they might have found it here over with GiveX being here. I don't know what GiveX would be doing over here if Fenanid wasn't around, unless this is just one big ruse, one big bait, Dyer. I feel like this is a waste of time, most likely. I mean, are you really gonna put this amount of effort into GiveX to try to get the fresh hook and try to get that ball rolling instead? I feel like this is a mistake.
Yeah, I feel so as well. GiveX now going down. It's going to be the third hook stage here, but Fenanid not being found by Fingerguns, not the one that gets the elimination here, and that means 4 survivors still standing on this map, and that's really, really tough. Blood Lodge, not the easiest map for the Blight either, has a huge size here and a huge amount of valuable resources, and Karma is using that really, really well. And Fenanid staying hidden, even with still being injured, staying hidden all the time, being an absolute stealth warrior here. So whoever wants to learn to stealth in Dead by Daylight, you better message Fenanid after the game, because that was a really, really impressive show. Right here, Pop Goes the Weasel is going to be applied. Next survivor going to be found, but once again, not the survivor Nia we are looking for to go for the tunnel out here. So Karma in a very, very beautiful position here.
Yeah, skill check missed here, though, and I do believe it was Fenanid actually that was on it. No vault coming back here, but that's maybe problematic for the side of Karma, actually, because if Fenanid goes down here, there's no saving him whatsoever. He is just going to die, and GiveX, noticing it, immediately uses the Deliverance to get out of that hook, to get back onto a generator and try to pump as much of his attention onto that as he can. But can this LT wall be Fenanid's savior? No, it cannot. The E button goes in, and it doesn't do anything at all. Fenanid is going to be the first sacrificial lamb coming through, but we are down to 3 gens, and I feel like a third one might be popping soon, because we haven't seen Kilade in quite a while. And yep, there it is.
Now going to work with a lot here. Fenanid is eliminated, that's the good news, but we have a lot of progress on the main generator here, and we also need to make sure there's the critic from Karma. Once again, poor Fingerguns facing it. Second time here, now going for the Pop Goes the Weasel kick, taking the good overview from the Blood Lodge as well here, and does find a kill 8, so just 1 survivor healthy now across the team. Fingerguns needs a quick down because the survivor team is about to recover and get the 4th generator done anytime soon. But what a wonderful flick here onto the back of kill 8. Very, very beautiful, and exactly what you need. Hook stage number 5 coming out, and Fingerguns still looking really, really confident, and seems to slowly recover from the fact that Fenanid was able to hide so long from him.
Oh, exactly. And, you know, he already has 1 hook stage onto GiveX. He has 1 onto Kilade now. Now he needs to find GiveX once again to try to get the 2nd hook stage and the camp out, possibly, if it is a thing that they can do. But the 3-gen setup doesn't look to be super good. But right here, coming back to the hook immediately. Nemesis loves tunneling, but so does Blight. And I feel like you have to go for GiveX in this situation. Kilade might have something that can help him not go down in this situation, but GiveX definitely has absolutely nothing going on for him. And beautiful slide coming in with the 180 flick. It's beautifully, beautifully done from Fingerguns, showing that it's all about precision, and might have been in retirement, but you gotta say he's been lifting some weights or something, because he's doing great at the moment.
Yeah, that's going to be also good news, right? 6 hook stages now. Same good news for Karma now with the heal right there. 2 healthy survivors again across the Blood Lodge here. This generator, though, got absolutely smashed by Fingerguns, but from 80% almost all the way down to 0. Hasn't even been touched again. So Pop Goes the Weasel not coming in clutch onto this one, but with this progress, that's not going to be enough to kick it anyway. We do see now that Fingerguns is even confident enough to just rush across the entire Blood Lodge map to stop the generators across the way, and he's doing that in a very effective way, because Claudette is now going to take an injury as well. Pop Goes the Weasel coming out, so everything you would see on a list with you would see on the list that a killer can't.
Beautiful.
It's absolutely smashing. That was one of the best rushes I've seen in Season 8 so far.
That was beautiful. That's exactly how you want to play the Shaq as the Blight. You want to get the bump logic going or the hook text going and noticing exactly what it is you need in that given situation. And Zolf becoming the fresh hook as well at the same time that Givex is actually getting unhooked. That just means no one is on a generator apart from maybe right now, and they might just be on the hillside over here. No, at the house? No, not even. And the heal coming in for Givex, but it's looking super, super dire here for the side of Karma. They really, really need to fix one more generator that would give such a better win condition for their killer in the next trial, but it's not looking too hot right now, Dire. It's looking very, very rough, especially with Kilade coming out of this basement here. Can he escape, or is he just going to go down? I feel like it's a matter of time because it is the Blight that we're talking about.
Yeah, you mentioned the time, and that's the difficult thing, right? We talked about the recovery potential earlier, and if you have a Blight like this who's now absolutely cranking, then it's going to be difficult as hell to get these generators done. Hook stage number 8 now coming out. Good news, yeah, you do have 2 healthy survivors across the way on the other side of the Blood Lodge, but there's another one that is going to be eliminated in 60 seconds from now, and the progress on the other generators won't look too good, especially with the next Pop Goes the Weasel kick being available. But givex immediately going into the next chase with finger guns. The rescue is coming through. Wasn't a deliverance, so that means nobody, absolutely nobody on Team Karma sitting on the generators at the moment. That is giving Divine Dead even more time and finger guns more confidence, especially when you're tunneling out poor givex here.
Yeah, poor givex here has nothing really to work with. I feel like the pallet is already gone from this tile, so there's not really much to work with. The window is maybe a saving grace here. The swing comes through, but it's beautifully done by givex. Just the double back. The window is now entity blocked, so there's not really much to work with at all, if anything. Let's see if finger guns can find him as fast as possible. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a swing and a miss. Once again, givex really showing that you can make a lot work with almost nothing. And yeah, this is just a matter of time. As I said, Kilade and Zolt need to pump the generators on the other side. Good job by givex, making sure that he can't be slugged. He needs to be picked up, and he's wasting as much time as humanly possible for his team. But can the last generator be done here to make it perhaps a 4K1 instead of a 4K2? That is the biggest question that we need answers to, Dire.
Now, let's see what these answers are going to be from the Team Karma that is going to fight once again against the odds with the back to the wall. 2 survivors standing, 2 generators to be repaired. A very, very rough condition for them. And there's the third one from Team Karma for finger guns here. If he would have stood in retirement home, he wouldn't have to deal with that. That's for sure, though. But he is going cross map once again, checking on these generators. And that's what I really like as well. Finger guns is not losing the grasp for the whole picture of it. He keeps an eye onto the objectives. He knows exactly what's going on, returns to the generators just in time to make sure that there's no efficiency possible on these objectives. So yeah, absolutely great work. That being found once again. That's a quick injury, and if she's down very quickly, then I do even struggle to see a 4th generator coming out.
Yeah, Kilade has to really, really pump a generator here for them to be able to get anything out of it here. And beautiful flick coming through. The eruption coming as well. Fireworks everywhere. Finger guns is smiling, no doubt about that one. Does he have a hook here for Zolth, though? I feel like they're very far away, so this might be a wiggle out. It's gonna be close, Dire.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, it could be a wiggle out, and that would be so much time waste into potential 4th generator right here. Claudette is just going to be straight back towards the corner here. Quick bump trying, though, but a lot of stuff here on the Blood Lodge preventing that, and she makes it all the way back towards the outside of the Blood Lodge. So, Nico, we might see a hit and run and slug and struggle game.
It might be the case, but nope. It's going to pick up Zolth once again. This time may be able to get the hook in. I mean, it's going to be super close once again to Kilade. You can bet your money that he is on the opposite side of the map, pumping that generator over there, trying to get it to a 4K1 scenario instead. Actually, never mind. He is just being chilling on the side of Shaq, trying to get the hatch escape. Question is it going to happen or not? This is going to be really, really close. He needs to 50-50 this. Let's see what's going to happen here, Dyer. Is Kilade going to be able to get it or not? No! It's going to be close right in his face. And Kilade goes down as well. No burst coming out from Finger Guns. And he is going to be victorious. Beautiful, beautiful job here coming out from Finger Guns. Out of the retirement home on the Blight. 4K through. Oh my goodness.
I hope Fingerguns is not watching the VOD and hearing this retirement joke soon, but Fingerguns, if you were in retirement home because you didn't play, you can see there was a player from Agony. You can see the experience that is coming out. You can see the game sense. Yeah, he lost the one survivor to tunnel out, but I could name you a ton of killers that would just start to panic at that point. And that would not be able to play so confident, because that's your plan, right? Your team is telling you, tunnel out that survivor. You're losing track. You feel how the survivors were able to put a little bit back and find a good strategy against you, and Fingerguns just keeping a cool head, smashing through the game, and now finishing off with 6 points on the survivor side of Karma, 28-6 here. So the win condition is 4 generators for Divine Dead. That means you can ignore a 3-gen setup even. You can even ignore a 4-gen setup, because you just have... Yeah, no, you can't, because then you would be a tie. Yeah. But you can ignore a 3-gen setup at least, and that's huge, right? Usually we're talking about, okay, we need 1 stage escaping, or in best case, you can say, okay, we just need all gens. In this case, you don't even need all generators to take the win here. So absolute impressive performance by Fingerguns. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to switch the sides. Divine Dead is going to take it on the survivor side and might be able to finish it with a very, very clean 2-0. Stay tuned. We'll see you after the break.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got Karma on Killer, and we got Divine Dead on Survivor. Survivors, Divine Dead, they need to finish 4 gens to make this game theirs. If they do that, it is over. They have the win. They can all be sacrificed at the end of it. Kilade has his work cut out for him, because he needs to defend not just the 3-gen, he needs to defend every single gen basically right now, Dyer, and it's gonna be a monumental task for him. You just gotta admit that.
Yeah, Kilade is the first one. I'm not even sure if he would have spotted that survivor if they wouldn't have dropped the pallet here. Menox was hiding quite well, but maybe it's also working as a distraction here, because we are in the corrupted area. So confusing the Blight a little bit and keeping him here in this area of the Blood Lodge might be really good. But you're right, Kilade basically has to play with the 7-gen. And with this corrupt intervention split, we see the beautiful main generator being active. That's going to be quite difficult. Claudette, unfortunately, being stuck a little bit, trying to force the mind games here. Double vault coming out, panicking a little bit. Life coming in, but that's going to be Menox going onto the ground just 60 seconds into the trial. Exactly the start Karma needs, but you will need a lot more 2-taps today to turn that around.
Oh, absolutely. And like you were saying, maybe it was a distraction from Menox coming in, because I feel like Killer didn't know that he was actually over there and was kind of on his way away from there. So possibly a DS onto Menox. I feel like that might be the case, and maybe some other things that can help him survive the second time around that he is going to be tunneled out when he inevitably does get unhooked. And that might just be the case right here. Is going to get the tap in onto Kurzeb, though. Who is he actually going to go for? It is going to be onto Menox, and question is how long this chase is going to last. This pallet is inevitably going to be dropped. There's no doubt about that. The comp dropped instantly, but Killed not too worried about it. It's going to try to swing, but not going to hit anything but the wood. +5 in the inventory for him. Nothing else right now as to write home about, but this here is not going to be it either. And we do see the blind coming through as the pallet is breaking. Menox is still on the loose, still on the run. Doesn't take the vault over here, but is still running away. The bump does come through, the second one as well, but no hit coming in either. And Dyer, this chase is taking way too long. 2 gens have already popped.
Absolutely insane what Karma is putting up here on the survivor side as well. Someone call the developers, they need to review this. Menox going down, and this, I mean, it's against the rules, but I would shut down my PC and throw it out the window if I'm getting this hit. And there, yeah, at least the decisive strike can do something here, but Jesus, what a hit this player had to accept right there. Going down in the main building. Menox now on a good run here, and he really deserves that, I feel like.
He definitely does. He does get down here though, and Menox, I mean, he's got to be a little bit worried about his ping situation after that one. He's pressing escape and checking if there's a little bit of a red bar going on at the Killer's house or something, because that was from Narnia to Africa, I think, that hit. That was quite the distance.
Absolutely insane here. We have now Menox on the second stage, so 60 seconds away from elimination. There's a heal onto Cursor, but that's going to be not enough right now. We do see now that Divine Dad is going to split across the generators. Nobody just yet towards the unlock. Usually Divine Dad relatively fast, and with them sticking to the gens, I think they have their very, very straight plan forward. You know what you need to do, and they are straight going for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can completely just sacrifice Menox here. You're on the other side of the map. You're doing the generators. You have two gens on the way opposite side of the map. If they just pop those two, they have won. It's over. The game is won from there. They can all be sacrificed after that. So they are completely fine with letting Menox go to the final stage. Apparently not. What is going on here? I feel like they should be completely fine with this, but it doesn't seem to be the case. They are going to actually get Menox off of the hook for whatever reason. I don't feel like this is the correct call, Dyer.
I'm not entirely sure as well, because it's beautiful if you get these double saves in and you do get your survivor back into the trial, wasting a little bit of time, but I agree with you, it's just a little bit of unnecessary risk, right? We are so close to meet the win condition here. Just two more generators, sacrificing your team member and sticking with two survivors on one gen, and the other one, that should be more than enough. Third generator coming out right now, so that's going to be the tie condition right here if it would end, but just one generator more and we are facing the 2-0 clean win by Divine Dad here. Menox now leaving the trial and with one injured survivor.
There it is
now. Generator number 4, plan worked out on the side of Divine Dad. Absolutely clean 2-0, and I feel like we could even see some outs here.
Oh yeah, we definitely could. I mean, we haven't seen the state of the generator on the opposite side of the map. I mean, GoodCon hasn't been around. Oh, sorry, not GoodCon. TreeTrick hasn't been around for quite a while, but okay, that hit goes through as well. Cursor probably also wondering what in the world is going on, but again, if we could look around the survivors, see if they're actually on a gen that it's about to pop, because TreeTrick has been invisible for quite some time, and yeah, here it is, 90% on that generator. That's for sure going to be a two-man out. I feel like I don't feel like Killit can actually do anything about this.
Insane. There's the deliverance on the Cursor as well, so even more pressure because the other teammate can just go towards the exit gate and doesn't need to take care of the rescue. We do see them splitting up a little bit here. One is at the pallet, one is running towards the outside of the Blood Lodge, but Kidate will take a little bit longer here to catch that Fang because he needs an extra bump. That's going to be the vault over the pallet right here. Godkhan made it safely towards the shack. Cursor, TreeTrick and Godkhan now at the door as well. One of them will potentially stay in here. Cursor immediately leaving. TreeTrick will follow very likely as well, and that's going to be Godkhan staying in as a sacrifice for Team Karma. Amazing game coming to an end here, but Divine Dad absolutely proving that they do still have the playoffs in their vision.
Well, they definitely do, and they just tied here against Karma, which is one of their main opponents they need to get over to get into the playoffs. This was such a crucial win for Divine Dead. It cannot be understated. And imagine getting two people out against Blight on this map when you just saw on the opposite side what was the case. Not at all the same caliber, unfortunately, this time around, and GG's to Divine Dead, honestly. That was beautifully executed from start to finish, from killer to survivor. They just outplayed their opponents today.
Absolutely, absolute insane game here. And you mentioned it in the overall standings, they tied up with Team Karma here. So really, really great work by them. Divine Dad keep grinding in the upcoming games. The playoffs are still in reach for Karma as well, though, because Karma did not really get defeated in a huge way here, especially set number 1 was just a few generators, and towards the Blight at the end it was falling a little bit apart, but they were showing the reason why they are in Season 8 and played a really, really good match. So thank you so much to all the teams and players for this really, really great match we witnessed today.